Last week on Map Master, the remaining contestants played Gundam on the map Tributary. Fuzzy Wraith was the winner of the competitive match and chose that the Wheats map would be a holdout flood map for 12 players. Fuzzy Wraith turned in the map Castle Siege, which was a beautiful and fun map to play, and the only one that was turned in, which made Fuzzy Wraith the automatic winner for that challenge. This left Bacon Shelf, Obey TW, Poppy's Etzbats, and Excessive LP 39 up for elimination, but in the end it was Poppy's Etzbats who was eliminated for not showing up to all 3 competitive matches and not communicating with the judge. 2 competitors have been eliminated, leaving 4 left, but only 1 can win the prize and be named Map Master. Welcome to Map Master. I am your host, Silent X Beastly. We now have 4 contestants left in the competition: Bacon Shelf, Fuzzy Wraith, Obey TW, and Excessive LP 39. Now it is time for the competitive match. This week the contestants will be playing Infinity Rumble on the map Shipyard, created by Xandril S312. The winner of the competitive match will get to decide what type of map the competitors will be building for this week. Alright, and here we are. We are on Shipyard, which is a beautiful small map, very awesome to play on. And we're playing Infinity Rumble, so let's get into this. Here we go. We're following Obey TW. Just kind of run around. He's using the battle rifle and sniper rifle combo. So we're going to switch over here. Fuzzy Wraith seems to have killed himself. I was wondering where he was. Obey is just kind of walking around. We're not seeing too much going on. Looks like and Excessive LP was not here for this one, and neither was Bacon Shelf. So we're going to switch over. Here's Fuzzy Wraith. He's finally back in. He is now shooting at Obey, who is over there. Switch back, and Obey has jumped into the water and killed himself, so going to switch back, and here's Fuzzy Wraith. He took quite a bit of damage, but he was able to survive that because Obey fell. Run on here. And it looks like he's found him, so they're starting to shoot. Obey reloading, taking cover behind the thing, throwing a plasma grenade. Not going to hit him because it missed. Looks like Obey's coming, and they're fighting. Looked up, and he got stuck in the head. That was pretty nice, but it also killed Fuzzy, so both of them died. That looks like Fuzzy is in the lead by 10 points, which is 1 kill. Switching over, here they're fighting again. Cover. Obey's moving away, waiting for his shields to recharge. Fuzzy Wraith is coming up the middle again. Looks like he sees him and he's starting to shoot. Obey's coming right up at him, throwing a grenade, misses up, and he's using that hard light shield to protect himself, and he still gets taken down though. Here's Obey coming up right behind where Fuzzy used to be, walking across the center, trying to cut him off. Firing that storm rifle. And it looks like Fuzzy is using his regen field to bring back health. And Obey has no shields, but he's going at him anyway. And it looks like, yep, Obey got taken down. Fuzzy Wraith looks like he's almost got enough. Well, he committed suicide there. I was not sure what he was doing there. Fuzzy almost has enough. Well, Obey is going for the overshield, which he has just taken. Looks like he's using the storm rifle and magnum combo. Switching magnum out for his battle rifle. Pretty smart move on his part. And it looks like Fuzzy has found him using that DMR and throwing some plasma grenades. To take him down. Obey has just switched out for the sniper rifle. And it looks like he had a hit on Fuzzy, but did not kill him. And now Obey is following up, trying to get that kill, but it looks like Fuzzy Wraith's shields came on, and then he just decided to use the regen field so that he could fall back and take cover like he just did. And yep, there we go. Fuzzy is just down to Obey, and he calls in his saw.
Request confirmed.
And it is out on that rock. Let's see if he can get to it. And he can. And we have Obey over here. Oh, looks like he's running to fire, but he's also... And that saw just mows him down. And it looks like the score is 60-30, Fuzzy in the lead. They found each other, they're starting to fire again. Fuzzy with those plasma grenades, Obey with the normal grenades. And yep, Obey is taking it down again. That saw is really overpowered. And we got Obey over here. Looks like he's using the DMR and Magnum combo. He's going to try to take Fuzzy out. Across the map, across the center bridge. Fuzzy over there still using his saw, running around. Trying to bring it over to cut off Obey. And it looks like Obey has just run across the center bridge again, looking for Fuzzy. And it looks like there's a plasma grenade there. 2 of them. Oh, frag grenades. And yep, Obey gets taken down again by that saw. And that was me just goofing around shooting him. Fuzzy just went and picked up the overshield, and now is coming back around to see if he can get Obey again. And there's Obey. And that's just completely slaughters him there.
5 minutes remain.
That little fight was over before it began. Oh, and he runs into Obey again and kills him. Just flat out murders him again. So we're going to switch over here to Obey. Looks like, yep, just again gets wiped out by that saw. Obey's really got to get some power weapons in order to defeat Fuzzy with that weapon. And it looks like he found the rail gun, but that's not going to be much of a help as the saw. Looks like Fuzzy has swapped out his saw. I mean, never mind, he still has it. And yep, there he goes. Fuzzy was just taken down by Obey, trying to catch up on that lead, which is 120 to 40. Looks like Obey just switched out for the railgun. And it looks like, yep, he killed him, and that was a perfect landing right up there. Can Obey make a comeback? Make a 70-point comeback? We'll find out. Obey going after Fuzzy again. He's sitting over there. He's going to launch out that railgun. Hits him, but does not kill him. Obey using that bolt shot, not using it as a pistol instead of a shotgun, but still gets the job done, but doesn't get the kill, and he misses, and he's out of ammo with that, so he's got to go to the bolt shot, and he just punched to death by Fuzzy. And Fuzzy just mows him down again. It looks like he's going to call the saw in again, and I don't know what's going on, but his ordnance keeps getting called on the outside of the map. Anyway, Fuzzy has got the saw again. Looks like it's going to be another mow down on Obey, most likely, of plasma grenades. And yep, Obey just gets mowed down. I think Fuzzy's going to go for that that overshield back there. No, he's not. Never mind. He's just running around over here. There's Obey. Obey was going for it, but got punched in the back. And now Fuzzy is going for that overshield. And now we're going to switch over here to Obey. Picked up the sniper rifle, trying to get some kills. Looks like he's going to get hit by the saw, running around in circles. They're trying to get each other. And they found each other. Just kind of meleeing, quick scoping, and Fuzzy gets taken down. Obey gets taken down, my bad. Fuzzy with that saw, and that guy is in the water. Fuzzy still has some of his overshield left, but it's going away quick. Here's Obey up in the center part of the bridge, coming over, trying to find Fuzzy, using that battle rifle pistol combo. Not quite sure what Obey's doing, so we're going to switch over to Fuzzy, who is hunting him down, tracking him like a predator. Coming up behind him. Oh, and he goes for the assassination pummel, not the assassination move. And here he found Fuzzy Obey again, and he's just gonna slaughter him with that saw. Yep. Switching over here to Obey. Still trying to make up points. He is down by about 140, 150. This does not look good for Obey. There's a minute 15 left, and he is down 150 points. I don't think he's going to recover from this. Make that 160. Here's Obey running around, using that railgun again, and he just blows the hell out of Fuzzy with that. He needs to drop his weapon for the saw. Switching over here to Fuzzy at the center of the map. Looks like he is using the DMR, and he's going to get lit up by that saw. And it looks like Fuzzy Obey is making some sort of comeback. Not sure he's going to be able to make it all the way, considering he is about 140 points behind, with only 30 seconds left in the game. It looks like Obey's going for that overshield, but he found Fuzzy, so he's going to mow him down and take the kill, and then go for the overshield. Switching over here to Fuzzy. Fuzzy in a comfortable lead, not really needing much. Just gotta wait out the time limit, which is 10 seconds to go. And it looks like Fuzzy is taken down again, because Obey had that overshield, which was very smart on his part. Probably should have had it more in the game. And there we have it. Game is over, and Fuzzy Wraith has won with a total of 210 points to 90 points. Which means now Fuzzy Wraith can decide the next map. And the winner of the competitive match is Fuzzy Wraith. Fuzzy Wraith got to choose between 4 options to decide what type of map the contestants will be building this week. Option number 1, a race map for 12 players. Option number 2, an Infinity Rumble map for 8 players. Option number 3, a neutral flag map for 8 players. Or option number 4, a plague map for 12 players. Fuzzy Wraith decided on a race map for 12 players. The competitors had 1 week to design, build, and test their race map. Alright, so we're here. We're going to take a first look at Evil Knievel, which was Excessive LP's map. Yeah, I'm just going to start off saying I did not like this map at all. It was very, very confusing to me, and I don't quite think he understood completely what race game type was. I did show him and Fuzzy what I meant by a racetrack right after the competitive match, and I showed Obey as well. Bacon Shelf wasn't there, so I wasn't able to show him, but it doesn't matter because him and Obey didn't turn in a map anyway. But I don't think they quite got the grasp of what it was. So I'm just going to start here. Humans spawn in here, and there's only one spawn point, which, never a good thing. When you build a map, you want to have multiple people, especially if it's race. Race, you want... Oh, wait, no, there are more spawn points. It's just they're scattered throughout this area, which is kind of weird. I've never heard of a racetrack doing that. Most times the race ones, you spawn on your mongoose, especially with that modded one that 343 Industries gave us. But anyway, it was kind of confusing. It was extremely confusing because some of the mongooses... The mongooses are faced in 2 different directions. You have 3 of them facing that way and 3 of them facing that way. So, which way are you supposed to go? It was kind of confusing. And there's this tower here, which I guess I don't know why this is here. I mean, I guess it could be a wall, but there's a giant gap right there. So, I'm really not quite sure what that is. And then he's got these pathways over here, which kind of just, go up. There's weapons lying here. Personally, what I think he did was I think he took parts of his big team battle map and just left them and turned them into walls for his racetrack. That's what I feel like he did. It kind of looks like that, and it's not really good design for that. To take one map and modify it to be its separate game type doesn't quite work. I mean, it works if you're doing two different objective games, like Capture the Flag and Oddball or something like that, or King of the Hill and Capture the Flag, maybe. But to do from big team battle to race, not always a good idea. It was extremely confusing because I got on this mongoose right here in the front. and I drove this way, like, okay, this is the way I'm supposed to go. The mongooses are facing this way. And I'm like, alright, I'll go up here. I drive along, I'm like, alright, looking good. And then I come down over here, and I'm like, now what? Because I didn't see that over there. I'm like, there was no directional pointing thing that was like, go this way. I was just really confused by this map, this starting point. But once you get out of the start, once you figure out how to get out of the start, it gets a little better. So then you just go over here, and he's got two different pathways, so it does give you some variety. Not everyone's going down one path. If you go down, I'm going to start with the left. If you go down the left, you're going to hit this grab lift, and you're going to bounce over, and you're going to land over here on this thing. And then you just continue driving, and then you just, it's fine. Still, again, pieces from his other map. Like, you can't go backwards there, but not a big problem because you're not going backwards anyway, not lined up. You would just come down here and drive around here, and then you would drive through here and hit that drive lift over there. So now I'm going to go back and I'm going to hit the right path. So basically, this one's just straight down driving, no drive lift at all. You're just driving through with a giant gap in the middle, and then you hit this drive lift down here, bounce up here, and then you have two different paths that you could land on to drive. And, I don't know why there's another mongoose here, not quite sure. And then you would just drive along here, hit these drive lifts, and then you go flying over here. Again, this part was kind of bad, because both drive lifts will land you in this area. Now, the bottom drive lift will land you down here on the platform. The top, if you went down the right path, and you hit that those drive lifts, you land up here. And there's a wall there, so I didn't know what the hell to do. I tried going down backwards, and you can't do that because you fall right off the edge, because they're lined up perfectly, so you go straight down through the middle there. Now, it looks like when I'm looking here, you can go down here, but again, with the speed of a mongoose, you're probably going to fall off the edge anyway, and even if you hit nose down, your odds are you're flipping forward and falling off the map. So, he didn't line them up great. He could have done a better job of lining them up, like, maybe if he took this wall, if he moved the wall and just put, like, I don't know, maybe a shield door in one area, so that way, if you lined up better with the shield door, or move the wall over a little more, lined up with the shot, you could drop off here and hit here, and then take this drive lift. But again, I mean, if you're taking the right path, you're pretty much way behind the other guy. Although I can't really say that, because the left path had a lot more twists and turns in it than the right path did. So, I mean, if you could do it, you probably would be able to, if it wasn't for the fact that you fall off and die immediately after taking the right path up here, you probably would be about the same. But again, there's no way to get down from there once you're up there. If you take the right path, you're pretty much screwed. You're not going to win. Alright, so we're going down here. Basically, once you land here, you take this drive lift, and then you would land over on this platform, drive over, take this drive lift, and that sends you down here, and once you hit here, you're done. There's nothing else to do. Like I said, I don't think he quite got the concept of race. Because a race is supposed to be like, multiple laps. Like, the normal standard for the race game type is 3 laps. First person to complete the 3 laps wins. Yada, yada, yada. He doesn't have that. He also doesn't have the hill markers for the race game type. So, you can't play this with the race game type. You have to play it with, like, Slayer or something. Which is why he built the mongooses in. But again, there's nothing here. There's not even a mine. Like, his track is more like an Achievement Hunter map. Like, if you've seen Achievement Hunter horse map, I'm sorry. If you've ever seen their horse series, you know that usually this is more like their kind of racetrack. But even there's like a mine at the end for you to hit that will blow you up and send you back to the beginning to do it again. This one is just kind of like first person here, but you have no idea who that could be or when it would happen because the person just kind of lands here and is like, yeah, I made it, I'm done. There's no explosion, there's nothing that'll come up saying, like, he won or he killed himself, which means he won. So, yeah, this was I mean, it's an interesting map, but for a race, I'd have to say no. Alright, so we are now taking a look at Fuzzy Wraith's map, which he has entitled Race It Out. And I think he should have titled it Race It Off. Mostly because I like that Taylor Swift song Shake It Off, and I think that would be pretty funny if it was. It was close. It was close. So close, Fuzzy. Okay, anyway, let's look at the map. So again, his understanding, he didn't use the race game type either. So there was no checkpoints or anything. So basically, if you fell off the map, you would restart from the very beginning. But his is more of a racetrack style. His is a lot closer to what racetracks actually are than what Excessive did. Oh, that's what that was. Okay. Alright, so everyone spawns here. So again, since it's not the racetrack, you have to play like Infinity Rumble or something. And all the humans will spawn in here. The Mongooses are up here. And again, this was for 12 players, but he only has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Only has 7 Mongooses built in to the map. So there's a flaw right there. Not enough Mongooses, but... And let's see spawn points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. He has 8 spawns, but only 7 Mongooses. So there's a problem there. But anyway, we're going to get into the map now itself. So his actually felt like a race map. Basically, you run up, you grab a mongoose, you bounce down this thing, hit there, and I'm just going to say this one quick thing real quick. If you've ever heard the saying, slow and steady wins the... Wow, I can't talk. Slow and steady wins the race. They pretty much sponsored his map, I'm just going to say, because basically if you went full throttle through the whole thing, you were bouncing around and falling off the edges all the time. You went slow, you were guaranteed a win. So yeah, so you bounce, you go down those little steps, you land on the platform, you just go and race down. Now I'm not too big on the fact that his things, I'm not going to be too hard on the fact that his things aren't lined up a lot, because his is more of like a obstacle course one. So, you know, all the bumps and all that make it harder for the racer, and, you know, it makes it more challenging. So then, yeah, you just go through these turns here, more twists and turns, and this part was interesting. You drop off, but then there's 5 mines down here. So you gotta be careful, because if you go full throttle, you're pretty much landing on a mine or overshooting it. You go too slow, you're not making the jump and you're falling in the water. So you gotta have the perfect speed to hit it. And once you get down here, you can pretty much get off your mongoose and go through the teleporter. Because he said he did this because he didn't know how to do the he didn't know you could do the vehicles going through teleporters. So I explained that to him afterwards, but for this map he didn't know how to do it, so you have to get off the vehicles in order to go through teleporters. So we're gonna go through the teleporter now. And we have this really nice running portion of the map. So basically it's a foot race in this second leg. So, and he's got some decoy hallways too, which are pretty cool. Pretty interesting. So yeah, so you basically... And there's a bunch of barricades and sand traps, so you have to dodge things and jump over them to get through the race course. So you teleport here, you come around and turn sharp right, go through here, and yeah, and then you just keep following the zigzag. One problem here is that there was no arrow indicator saying, hey, turn right here, this is the way to go this way, because most players wouldn't realize that, and they jumped off the edge and fell to their death because they thought they were supposed to keep going straight. So I think one thing that would improve this map would be an arrow, it's like 3 columns you could put together, like 2 on a 45-degree angle going away from each other, making the greater than sign, I guess it would be, and then 1 in the middle, just giving that arrow. Be like $150, I think, in budget. Just build that in there, and letting players know that, hey, the teleporter for the next leg of the race is to the right. Go that way. But again, I mean, you go through it once, you fall, you realize, oh, hey, I'm not supposed to go that way. Let me try a different direction. So I'm going to go through the teleporter, and I thought this was kind of interesting. I haven't really seen too many racetracks that include ghosts that you ride a ghost for part of it. I'm sure they're out there. I'm sure there's plenty of them. I've just never had one. I'm not a particular fan of ghost races, but mostly because they're hard to control, and if you get that wing stuck on something, it's a bitch. But I thought it was pretty interesting that he threw these in. So basically, you just grab on this ghost, and then you just drop. You just drop down onto here, and now the ghost is nice because they don't take too hard of an impact like a Mongoose, where if it hits, it'll start flipping around and it'll blow up. The ghost will actually doesn't take much damage from a fall. Now I could have just been lucky all my times, and that could have been a fluke thing where it didn't take much damage. I don't know because I don't use ghosts, like I said, or well, I've never jump shotted one. I've never taken a giant fall with a ghost, so I don't know. But basically, yeah. Then you just got these ramps things here, which I guess you can boost through. I went slow, just like I said, slow and steady wins the race on this map. And then you got this, which pretty much you have to hold down on backwards in order to survive. Because if you don't, you're gonna hit here and then flip and go right over the edge. So you gotta go slow. And again, you land here on these tunnels, and then you gotta go slow again too because you gotta go down this tiny little pathway and then turn and go on this tiny little pathway, and then you have to drop straight down into this box here and hit the mines and all that. So if you go too fast, you're probably gonna fall off. If you go too fast in this final one, you're gonna overshoot the piece, and you're not gonna end up getting the win because you overshot it. So yeah, I did like this final part though. It looks really interesting because it looks like it. I like the way he did it because it's not like the one tunnel long and then the tunnel shorts, but it looks like he used 3 tunnel shorts here, and then put the gap in there, and it just I just like that kind of look to it. It looks pretty cool. Could just be me. I like that part. But yeah, so this was his map. He titled it "Race It Out," and it actually feels like a racetrack compared to Excessive's. Although these were not common types of maps that players are accustomed to for a race game type, they were still technically a race design. After playing through and reviewing the competitors' maps, I decided to name Fuzzy Wraith the winner of this challenge, mostly because his map felt more like a race than Excessive LP39's did. Excessive's just felt more like a stunt jump map than an actual race for me to be able to declare it the winner. This leaves Bacon Shelf and ObeyTW up for elimination for failing to submit a map. Either one of them could justifiably be eliminated. That being said, Bacon Shelf informed me that he would be dropping out of the competition because he was brought on to design a bunch of set pieces for a machinima director and would not have time to compete in the competition. Well, there you have it. The third competitor to be eliminated from Mapmaster is Bacon Shelf. 3 have been eliminated and 3 remain, but only 1 can win the prize and be named Mapmaster. Join us next week for the final round of the competition and see who is the Mapmaster.
She went from legends for a